Alright, so I've made my way around the yard and I was debating. I got almost 2,500 bucks. If I could buy a car and afford it, if it had the motor parts and everything under the hood that I needed, it's a viable option to buy a package for less, use more of the parts if possible. So that's not out of the equation. However, I don't have enough for any of them in the yard today. Well, as you can see, this one's missing tires, it's probably missing other parts, etc. So clearly not a viable option. But what inspired the option to, if I choose to buy a car for parts, I have to 100% strip it, wash and sell the body, welded if I have it, and that car is gone. The parts, anything that is red, instantly sold. Anything that's not repairable has to be kept, and anything that is repairable is either used on the current project or sold before I go any further. That way, I'm not storing parts from a parts car. However, if you go into the piles and buy a part, like say you buy a transmission that's fixable, if it's for the car that you're working on, and seems I did not inspect them or anything else, I don't know what is or is not on the vehicle. So let's say I find a transmission for it and I buy it, bring it back to the shop, and it has one. I can sell the duplicate part. Or let's say I buy something like this drive shaft, which is letter H. If I needed a different letter, it serves no purpose and it can then be sold. Chances are I might make $1, I might lose $1. It shouldn't be too much because the cost savings uh, skill does reduce the cost of things, but doesn't help the amount sold for. So that's hard to say. So anyway, uh, this is my shopping cart. I found a barn map, which is free, and I'll store them up because that's the only way I'm going to get barn maps because I'm not doing jobs. I do know I need a catalytic converter. Now, the question with like seats and steering wheels. If I can afford what is here, I should naturally afford to keep the best wheel possible and get rid of the other one. As is right now, it's gone. Or back in a pile somewhere for all I know. Now, seats, a car needs two of them. It doesn't have to have both seats, nor does it have to have a complete body, nor do body parts need to be above 15. They just need to be on the car if you find them. Now, I found a beautiful hood and a beautiful headlight, so I can't pass that up, right? And a decent tail light. Pretty good stuff. Now, the motor I'm working on is an i4, but I don't know if it's turbo or not. So buying these i4 parts, if it's not for the car, it has to be sold immediately. It can't just stay in the inventory for later, none of that. So 2 seats, got that, got a steering wheel, the interior is taken care of. Body panels, they can be below 15. Now, if I buy one that's better than what's on the car, replace it, sell the junk. That's kind of goes without saying to improve a car. However, if it is not a turbo, I have to sell these parts. And I'm not looking to get the repair bench because this isn't about making profit. This is about making a car barely run to go on the track and set a time. and then go back to the junkyard or the barn at that point, buy parts that are better than what is on the car, make improvements, and improve that lap time. Now, the chance of ever getting it up to 100% all the way around, that would require the store, and that's not part of the option. Now, the other thing is, does it have an intercooler on the car? I do not know. So I'm going to take the chance, if I can afford it, I'm going to buy the parts in case it does need them. And if it doesn't, I have to sell them. They're gone. Or, because I know me being a V8 carbureted guy, this will come in handy, as will a 3-star carburetor, right? And a leaf spring. I know this does not belong on this car, but it's 80%, it's green, and a fan. Both parts I know I will inevitably have to use. Now, the air filter base could be good, could be junk, could be the wrong one. Camshaft, I believe, is for a V8. It doesn't say I4, so I'm thinking this should probably stay behind. But I'm going to take it back just in case it does fit as a generic camshaft. If it doesn't, it's sold. The air filter cover, kind of rare. It's better than 15%. It will make a car run. Body parts, again, doesn't matter. Rims, I know it's a 15, so I bought a couple that maybe replace one, maybe both, if there's one that's less than 50. Fuel filter, super score, hard to find. Belt tensioner, super score, and they're above 15. Well, at 15, it's not red, so it's good. So I'm going to take this stuff back to the shop. Let's see. Yeah, it's only going to cost $1,000, just over $1,000. And as you can see, it saved me 57 bucks. Not bad. 57 bucks we can deal with, right? So basically, if there's anything in this list that I'm not allowed to have, I will sell it. The carburetor and a couple of parts for a V8 car, which I know I will be getting into at some point. I will be keeping those because they will come in handy, inevitably. So now we go back to the garage. I'm going to fiddle around and see what we can take off, what we can put back on, what we can replace. I do not have the repair bench. I do not have the welder. So I have no method of fixing any of that kind of stuff. All right. So it does have a windshield. Let's see, we have a hood and a trunk. And I know I have a headlight, just don't know which one. Oh, right one. Right. Actually, let's do this first. All right, we're just under $1,000, okay? First trip to the junkyard, and we go from 997, quite a ways up, I'm sure. I know I didn't get a fender. I don't think I got a door. I had a trunk and a tail light. Now this is a left door window, which there is no door, so there is no window. All right, so let's go put the trunk on. Oh, it has a trunk. So let's see if it's better. Whichever of the two are better. 13 and 11. Doesn't look like much of an improvement. 13 to 30. So looks like what was there was better than what I bought. So this and this. Now we have a left tail light. This one. I hate how it does that. That should be a good improvement. Right. so inventory. This can go. I have no more body parts. I have 2 rims and 4 tires. Alright, so these are from the very first job, by the way. The very first story order you have to do before you can even do anything beyond that. I have no more body parts. No transmission. I do have a couple of exhaust parts. Let's throw some exhaust up under this bugger. Oh, there is a muffler on here. So that was worth it, I think. 30 to a 19. True. I think that's the same one, but... and a 17. Alright. So this can go bye-bye. Let's see what we got up front here. How is there no exhaust on here? Is that because there's no head with the downpipe coming down? I'm thinking that's what the deal is. So technically we can't mess with that until we get that far. So these are both on hold for the moment. Brakes, that's what we've had so far. Now, once I have more than 4, I have to sell the lowest percent, period. I can't have more than 4 brake pads. I can't have more than 2 ventilated, and no more than 2 discs. I can't have more than 4 calipers. I can't have more than what would go on a car if it had the most, like a 4-wheel disc brake versus disc and drum. So I can have up to 4 calipers. Suspension wise, rear sway bar B. That's sway bar A, so that doesn't do me any good. Bottom arm A. These are lower suspension, so that doesn't do me any good. I know it doesn't have that, but this is for the V8. Rear hub B and hub 4. That's a wheel hub 3, so that doesn't do me any good. And a rear wheel hub. So neither of these do me any good. Even though this would do if I had a V8 car come in. So this is the only part I'm keeping. So now we go through the motor stuff. And again, no gas tank through all that trip. Right. This tire for sure is definitely coming off. And maybe this one. If I were to swap 2 of the tires out. Because that one I can definitely get above 15. I have no idea what it is. Rim is at 7. This rim is at 37. That rim is at 17, so it's not much of an improvement. This one's at 24. 17 to an 18 and 19. It's a 1% deal, not really quite a gain. So do I want to mess with 1 tire over there? Yeah. Depends. Let's see what we have in here. Nope. Don't have air filter. Don't have brakes. Don't have fuse box. I do have a filter. Motor. Right. So this head isn't going to do me any good without pistons. And it looks like we need 1. Now, need a piston. And for the fan, I have a fan, which I can keep, but I don't have the housing. So this is on hold because I can use it. This, I believe, would then be the wrong base. And this again, I have no idea yet. This is from the first job. Same with this. The I4 cover, I won't know until it gets on there. Oil pan won't do me any good until I can get underneath it. With pistons, intercooler. Is there an intercooler? No. Alright, so the intercooler can go bye-bye. Right. So this is all I have left. Well, we can add that to the thing. Oh, seats and steering wheel. Yes. Seats and steering wheel. Oh, there is a seat in there. Let's pull that one out. It has a back seat. It can keep it for now. Alright. We'll put this one in here. And this one over there. And that one. Alright, so that'll take care of what we have that we can use. So swap one wheel. And these are 15s. And these are 16s, so that's not even going to work. They're 16s instead of 15s. So that means these both got to go bye-bye. They don't fit. Right. The rest of this I can keep. I could have kept the 15s for whatever these are and put them on. Chances are I'll find something better than a 19% anyway, so let them go. Alright, so I'm still within budget. I'm capable of doing a job, brake job or something if I need to, but I don't need to. So we started with $9.97 and we are currently at $24. So we put $1,500 worth of parts onto it. That's pretty good. So I'm thinking $1,600 to go back to the junkyard, buy any more parts I can for this, put them on the car, sell off whatever I don't need or can't use, see where we're at value-wise, and then if it's missing parts and can't run, sell it. 2 trips to the junkyard at level 5, put them on there, improve it, make a few bucks profit, sell it. Then go back to the junkyard and buy a second car. If you're a kid getting your first car, if it was a jalopy like this, at some point you would say, no, just I'm done, sell it, move on, try to find a better car, right? Let's see how that goes on. All right. So right now we're at $24.43 profit. All right. So here I am now at the last pile again, having searched my way all the way around and stuff. And I came across a nose, another left tail light. I don't know that this one's better than the last one, but I'm going to take the chance if I can afford it. Timing belt, I believe it's this one, or it's the one with the curve in it. A V8 3-star. Yeah, it's fixable, so I gotta keep it. I just gotta. I did find a brake servo, a rear arm, which I'm not sure is better than what's there, but it's a 1-star, so it would improve maybe. And I believe I just sold a rear hub B, so this would be a rear hub. I did find a 16 to replace the back rim with. And I don't know if it's these with the curve or if it's the straight style. I believe it's these. I don't know if it takes a coil. I did find a rear link, a body window. I believe this would be the right steering pump. Might be wrong. I did find a door and now wish I would have kept the damn window. But I sold it. I don't know if it has the injectors or not. I did find an ECU, which is a hell of a deal. I did find a mirror and a right headlight, which is pretty good, and another suspension arm. a window, and then a couple of V8 parts. But I also found another block. I did not look to see what condition the block was in. And in order to take that out, I would have to do it in the car because I do not have the expansion nor the engine stand. And then some V8 parts and another fuel filter and a bearing. So we did find a few good parts, and it's affordable, down to just over $1,000. So the car right now is worth $2,443. Can we make it a $3,500 car with these parts, excluding the V8 stuff? Let's go back to the garage and find out how much value we can get put back into the car and where we go from there. Starting with the door and the mirror and body panel parts. Alright, so we're back at the shop. We're at $2,443. Okay. We did get a nose too, right? Okay, so this is an improvement. This is a part it didn't have. So that's an improvement. And I did get a body window, did I not? Body. Okay, right headlight can go. Okay, left and right body windows. And another left tail light. Alright, so let's see. There's not one over there? That was at 78. So yeah, that was not a profitable piece. This one was. Hey, I mean, it doesn't have to be above anything. It just has to be on the car if I can put it there. So I know I don't have any more body panels. Right. So at this point, unless I can find a fender, a mirror, and another window, 2 fenders, a driver's side door window, that's pretty much it for that. Get out of the assembly mode. Alright, so in here we have a brake servo, power steering, not what I thought, alternator. Okay, so the block's not telling me, it's just saying I4, and I have I4B, so that's not going to help me. Right. Air filter I did not find. Fuse box I did not find. Oh, ECU I did. Isn't there normally one that goes there? But that's a water pump, ain't it? Okay, so that steering pump is not what I'm looking for. We can put that on. There's nothing else at this moment is going to help me there. Alright, so let's hop under the car. See, it doesn't tell me what the cam or the block condition is, so we're going to roll with it. If it's there to start with, it can be under 15. But if I find a part to replace it with, then I got to pull it out and fix it. Period. Alright, so this is motor stuff, and I don't think we have anything else I can put on it. Suspension wise, the rear arms, hubs, Oh, they are the right ones. Okay. So this one doesn't look too bad. That one looks better. So let's go remove this one. And this tire's going to get replaced already anyway. It's kind of a bummer. I saw a lot of good parts in the junkyard for cars I don't have. Had to leave them behind. I only have both of these, so we'll just go ahead and pull them off and find the best of whichever. This one looks pretty bad. Alright, well, let's start with that and see where we end up here. 18 to 16, I guess not much of an improvement. 21 over 19, I don't think that was an improvement. Didn't find any bushings out there. Should make a rule that if the bushings are red, you can't put them back on a car, but this early in, just starting, yeah, whatever it takes to get it to the track to start with, and then replace it as you find improvements for it. Let's see, I don't think. Okay, well, we got that. 19, this one, we replaced them both. So 16 and a 19. This one I'm sure is better than that one, so we'll just leave that there. This one we will try and see. I gotta take the tire off to get to that door. Well, let's find out. I mean, it would help if I inspected the car, then I would be able to hover over the part and see what condition they are in, to know if I want to take the left side, right side, if this one's better than what I have, etc. Save me some experience points for later, I guess. Technically, it'd be in the long run because you get points for inspecting. Alright, so while we have the tire off, let's go swap this one out. Alright. Yeah, that's a big improvement of 12%. Doesn't look a whole lot better, probably fit a little funkier, but whatever. There we go. Oh, I hate how it does that. Irritating. Right. Oh, duh. Might help to balance the thing. Alright. Now we can go try this again. It's funny how this is a somewhat deep dish rim and these are flush mount. You would think that would stick out further, and it don't. So clearly this offset spacing doesn't make a bit of difference. But anyway, parts wise, this can go. Oh, I didn't look for that. We'll sell that. Rear wheel hub, that's what I was looking for. would be that. 4 bolts don't look too bad. These 4 bolts don't look all that bad either, and it's not telling me. So I think I'll just toss that part. Doesn't really make sense to go from 17 to 19%, or whatever the difference may be. Alright, so other than some engine parts, which I can't do anything, I can't find out about the head until I put a piston in it. I can't find out about the exhaust until I put a head on it. So I'm kind of at a standstill. I need a piston. That's what I need, is a piston, right? I can kind of see the majority. There is no turbo. It's not in this one. Nope, no turbo. So I can sell the turbo, which means I don't need turbo exhaust. It does have coil over, so I don't think it has the spark plug. So that means we can sell those. I don't think it's this system. I think that's on the black cover. It does have one of them. Doesn't have that. This is for the turbo. This I can't quite really see. But I don't think single overhead cam D is the right one either. No, because those are all dual and then ABT, so I don't think. So this is a dual overhead cam. Right. So that means that can go bye-bye. Okay. So I need a radiator shroud. I need a head and a piston. I think these are the right belts. This would be for a dual overhead, which is different than the single. Alright, so other than some V8 parts I have hanging around that are going to accumulate, I guess it's, I got $1,000, I get to go back to the junkyard. And so until my income is gone, at which point I come down to zero, no money, whatever parts I can't get onto the car, sell all the parts, empty my inventory other than what I'm keeping for V8 project, and sell this car as is. If it makes it to the racetrack before I run out of money without doing any jobs, then we have a success. If not, we go on to round 2 with a little bit more budget, kind of a handicap, find a car out of the junkyard and do it again. So I am going to head to the junkyard and scrounge around again and see what I can find until I'm down to no money. I will not use the tablet store. If I do, it will be to buy a piston and ring, or one or the other if I don't find them, to be able to put a head on it so I can get rid of some of the other parts of my inventory. If I have money in my account. If not, then I cannot. So it's all about the budget. Starts at level 5. Whatever money you have at level 5 is the amount of your budget to get your first car running. After that, no jobs, no store. Do what you can wherever you get the money to make the parts to fit the car to make it work. If it gets to the track on car 1, you have succeeded. If it takes a second car, selling the first one, to get to the track, you have won, but you're down 1 point. So how many cars will it take to get to the track? At this point, we started with 2443, and we got a little over $700 added into it. 725 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So let's start there, and I'll go junkyarding, and we'll be back. All right. So here I am again at the end of the trail. I usually go all the way down, then up and around, go through there, down that whole backside and around back to here, because there's nothing between these two that isn't already on the other side, ending on this little pile here. So I found a few items which are godsends, like a fender and a bumper and a piston ring, but no piston. I did find another window, which I don't know is better or not, but it works. Same with the spring, which I know they're on the car, but are they that good? I don't know. Same with this. Now, body parts being red, totally fine. Who cares? Engine parts, however, on CMS 18, a car would not run if any of the motor parts were 15 or less. I do not know if it's the case on 21, so I'm going to take a chance because I found a few parts that might actually be worth it. Also found a wonderful looking shock, which I believe we can swap in. This I believe is 1, maybe 2 better. I did also find an exhaust and another side window. But I also found a pulley and an alternator, which these may at some point have to get sold and replaced with a better one, as far as I know. And I found a right door window, which is really good nick, and an air filter, which I'm sure we will need. So as it stands, where are we at? 700 bucks. So that'll leave me almost 400 bucks to play with, which is good. So let's head back to the shop, put a few more parts on it, see what the value of the car is. Clearly it will not run because I do not have a piston to be able to put a head on it, nor do I have a head to put on it. So it will not run. But it will be improved. So right now we're at 3168. All right. So let's start with this guy because we have it. Major improvement. So 3168. Yeah, we made 80 bucks. Plus we get to sell the window. And which fender did I grab? This one. So yeah, we made over 100 bucks. Not bad. Hopefully they didn't cost me that much. Do I have more? Oh yeah, rear bumper and a driver's window. Oh, and I believe it's this one. Yeah, the right window. Gotcha. We got a right window, a rear bumper, and a driver's window. 98, yeah. That looks like it replaced. It's definitely better. And a driver's window. So now it looks like we need a fender and a mirror, and the body is complete. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty close. So under here, I can't see what the transmission would be, but it looks like it might be better than 16. So hard to tell. 3600. We're doing pretty good. Part mount. What do we have? We have an alternator. And a couple other pieces here. This one. For the time being, if nothing else, they're placeholders. Can't put that on there yet. Yeah, we're missing a few bits yet. Let's see, we can put that over where it belongs. This can go, and this can go. ABS at 17. That's at 22, so it's of no value. Oops. That's of no value, even though it is 2-star. 5% with 2 stars, I'm going to say it's not worth it. Alright, so we got an exhaust, we got an overbar. Let's go take care of them real quick. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell which one would be in worse shape. Kind of looks like they're both about the same. Same with the shocks. Kind of doesn't look like it's going to matter any as to which one we take off first. So we know we got a spring. 31 to 16, yeah. I think I'm at that point where I need something better than 25, 30, or 40. Oh, I did pick up a small bushing, which is an improvement. That's a good thing. Alright, well, that don't look any better than it did. We do have that. Let's see, small bushing can go. The spring obviously didn't get replaced because it didn't move. Same with the suspension arm. So let's check the other side real quick. Don't look like I have anything else. Nope. Just these here. Don't think it's going to be an improvement either. That's at 29, so yeah, that's going to be the same as it was. However, the more parts I do try to replace, the 6% for 3 stars. I'm going to go with the 3-star on this one just because of the stars and hope that if we can get it to run on the track before I run out of budget, that maybe we can actually get it to do something better. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so here, sell that and that. So now I need to take a front shock off of there. I'm not so sure about the gearbox yet. Can I take that off without? No, I gotta take that off yet. And I didn't find any tires either, so I found plenty of rims, just no tires that are the right size anyway. Go from 24% way up. Alright, that said 24%. And that's now at 53, so almost double. Pretty close. Slow progress. And my experience is coming from how many times I take parts on and off. Now, ideally, if I had the expansion to where I could go get the repair table, then ideally the best thing to do would be to buy one car, completely strip it down, no parts left underneath that are repairable, repair what you can, shop for the rest if you need to, but not in the store, put back on what you can. Say the center diff was fine, so you replace that, put that back in, but this arm is shot, so you need a new one, don't put it on. Basically saying if it's good, it stays. If it's junk, it's gone, out of the inventory. You need to have the part in order to replace it. But this being a first car, probably some kid on the farm, or I don't know who would have given this to their kid first, but maybe a mechanic uncle kind of felt this was a good way to get a kid into cars and help them understand the value of money and the process of repairing and all the other fun stuff. Because as you can see right now, it's worth 3,700. I don't remember exactly what it was when we started, but I remember at one point it was 24.43 was the profit. I mean, this is just the profit number I'm going off of. This is what it would put in my bank. And I started before I bought the car. I had $5,742. So right now I am at 1,000, almost $200, $1,200. So this is essentially $7,500 if I were to sell it, along with all the other parts that go to this car. Roughly $7,600, $7,700. Would that buy me a better car? I'm not out of money yet, so I will go to the junkyard one more time. Because until this gets down to zero, or pretty damn close, I'm going to keep giving it a go. To make the most profit I can out of this. Will I find a piston? Will I find a head? Chances of finding more caps and stuff like this, the amount of effort that it takes in a junkyard to do that, that's where it becomes a matter of, is it worth it to allow certain parts from the tablet? Or is it best to just make a junker first car as far as you can till you have zero budget with no jobs, no other income methods? As you can see, I have nothing out here. I have no parking. I have nothing. And then once I get to level 10, I had better have a car on the racetrack before I get to level 10. And if it's on the racetrack, I can sell it and go to the barn to buy a car. Or if I have two cars that have made it to the track by the time I've made it to level 10, then I get to choose which of the two I want to keep, sell the other so I have the money for buying something at the barn. So right now I'm not even about a third of the way through level 5. So I still got 4.5 more levels to go before I have to worry about a barn. And that's why I don't want to take parts on and off to gain experience, to have very little money by the time I get to level 10. Because at level 10, I can no longer go to the junkyard. The barn unlocks, I have to go to the barn. There are better cars, they are more expensive, they are more complete, but they still need work. And then, I believe it's at level 15, right? No, get out of there. Yeah, auctions are at level 15. At which point I'll probably be buying junker cars rather than brand new cars, which, yeah, there might be a cheap one in there that I could afford. At which point, how do you go on from there? Run it on the track for a baseline, make some improvements. Still can't use the store. What do you do? This is all about making improvements, not making profit, but having enough to be able to afford the next level. Then, once the auctions are open, buy the first car, preferably from the junk side of the auction, make it run. Once it's on the track, there's nothing more to unlock. Then it unlocks the store, at which point you can sell that car, go choose wherever of the three you want to buy it from, use the store to buy and upgrade however much you want. That's up to you. Your money, have fun. But for me, I'm going to take my 581 and I'm going to go see if I can buy some more parts from, of course, the junkyard. So I'll be back with my shopping list from there. Right, once again, here we are by the striped tail here, the old red skunk. And I've gotten myself down to pretty close to, I don't know that that's going to help. This is for a later project. I did find a fender, a better pulley, a relay. Other project, a better water pulley pump, which I don't think I need on this car. I did find a shroud, which would let me put the fan on there, which would raise the income value. Same with the battery. This doesn't really do me any good without a head. This one, I don't remember if it was base or A, and this, I believe, is the right one. So, for the most part, here's a little tip for you. If the point is to make the most money off of the first car, not planning for the second, however, it's hard to turn down something like this when you know that's the aim, the ultimate end aim. But the more you spend on future parts, the less you have for current parts. So just a little warning. It's totally up to you. Totally free to do this, but you have to eventually use them on the next car. If the parts you're holding don't go on the next car after you return from the junkyard with the car and those parts, they have to go. You can't hold them for two cars. This car and the next, after that, they're gone. I think that's pretty fair. So anyway, this is what I have. And I believe, oh, barely. That was pretty close. I think that was probably my most expensive part. Everything else pretty cheap, not too bad. So let's say another $150 to add to the car. 140, 100, yeah, 130, $140 to add to the car. So that should put us about 3,300 when it's done, I think. Maybe. All right. So first off, we're sitting at 37.71. All right. Profit. That's just profit. And I'm sitting at $58. Woo-wee. That ain't very much. That's, if I were to go to the shop, that's all I got. Under $100. That's not bad. I think that probably kind of fair if it gets you one or two more parts added on. So anyway, let's see what we got. We got a fender. I think that was all I had for body parts, right? Yep. Left front fender. So I go from 37.71 So about 30 bucks. Yeah, that's not bad. We'll take that. Gearbox, not really sure I want to swap that. At level 16%, the other one looks pretty good. I'm thinking this one's probably going to get sold. I'll hold on to it for now, though. I can't do the exhaust without a head. I don't have a head for the car. I've already done through the brakes. This is actually garbage. This one I could swap. Maybe it's worth something. Let's see. That one don't look the worst. And this one don't look a whole lot better. This one's at 21, so yeah, I don't think this is gonna do me any good. So we'll just get rid of that. Right. I can't put this on without the belts and without the head and everything else, so it's not gonna help me any. This one is better than that, so it can go bye-bye. This is red, it can go. We can put the fan in. Right, so let's put what we can in the engine bay. I don't think we got anything else to put underneath the car. I do not have the battery charger, nor do I have enough money to buy it. So, as it sits, we can mount the battery. Ah, it is type A. Damn it. So that air filter box thingy don't help me any. This is the right one. That's good. That's a plus. Right. The fan. Yeah, that's a couple more pieces in. I never found a starter or a fuse box, let alone any reservoirs other than the power steering. That's pretty much it. I did have a ring, but I don't have a piston. I have $78. It would cost me $76. That would leave me $2 to be able to put a piston and one ring on the car, which it doesn't help me without a head. Is it worth it to spend the money to buy the one part for the car that would allow me to add the next part? The other option is I do have a filter if it doesn't take air filter A. Let's see. See, there's air filter 14B type A. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to help me to buy base A. This one. Although that's $9. And that's $9. So that'd be $18 for those two parts. 18, 32 bucks. I could get more bang out of those three parts than I could if I were to buy a piston. But the cost is different. This one would be $42, would allow me to put one freaking relay. Yeah, one relay, and that's it. Let's see, this doesn't do me no good without a head. This doesn't do me any good without the belts and all that fun stuff. Oil pan doesn't do me any good without the bottom end. This doesn't do me any good without the head, the cams, and the gears and the belts and all that fun stuff. This is as good or worse than the other one that's in there. This doesn't do me any good without a head. This is clearly wrong car. This again needs a head. This needs the pulley and this and everything else. This being the wrong base. this needing a base. Same with this. So at $101 right now, and that's it, literally $101. What is my best bang for the buck before selling the car? I don't have an exhaust, so buying a piston, I don't have a head. Without the head, there's nothing I can put on a head. So is a piston worth it? No. As far as, uh, let's see, caps. So $40 each. I'd be able to get 3 rod caps, which wouldn't be enough for a bearing cap to go along with it. So I can't button up the bottom and put an oil pan on it, which is all that would get me. There's really nothing else, suspension, exhaust, or whatever, that would help down underneath because it's on 4 tires. It just needs motor stuff. So do I put a piston in it? What are we looking at? Dual overhead. So I see single overhead camshaft. Was it really I4B or this one? If it's 2 of these, that would have made a head work. That kind of sucks. Let's see. Reservoir is expensive, so that's kind of out of the question. I mean, it would spend the most, usually gains the most, but I don't think that's how that works. Head-wise, I'm not seeing. I see the T. Is it really a TA? No. I think it's this one, and that's way out of my budget, no matter what. So I couldn't afford a head unless I found it in a junkyard. So that's no real point in buying the piston to be able to put a ring on it. Gas tank is too expensive to be able to put a fuel pump in it. Don't need any of this stuff intake wise because they ain't got a head on it. A filter, $23. Yeah, that too much of my money for not enough of my money. It has radiator fan, that fun stuff. I mean, a piston does seem like the only thing that gets me one more part, which is a piston ring, which isn't much of anything. Rod caps, yeah, that's a few parts for not much. I mean, not much value gain, I should say. And I don't get to sell the extra parts that don't fit on the car until after I sell the car. Just because they can't fit on the car right now doesn't mean I can sell them and use that money to find the next part that can. I just don't think that'd be the logical way to go about it. Yeah, so right now, $95 to put a windshield washer reservoir in there. Honestly, yeah. Either one of those reservoirs, a ring, or a piston, so I can put a 17% ring on it. A fuse box to put one relay in there, which I can always save for the next project, which I think is a better deal. I mean, honestly, $100. I feel like the piston and ring is the only thing that gets me to the next step further, but doesn't really put a lot of cost value into the vehicle. Because for each dollar you spend, you get a percent benefit, bonus, value, whatever. And a starter, I believe, is way out over my range. Well, $76, I can put a starter in it. And that's an option. 42. Yeah, 118. I'd be $17 short of putting this and that in there. I mean, I think a starter would probably be good because I could throw it in there real quick, have a couple of dollars. It's not a full $100 though. Is an $80 part worth more to sell the car than a $100 part? Come on, get to the end already. I really don't like the scroll thing. I used to like it with the freaking up and down. I could easily do that, have $6 left, put a $100 part into the car and get more bang for the buck than the starter. It's a single piece. It's as close to my account wise as I can get. And I don't think I can afford to put fluid in it, which really sucks. But there it is. So right now I'm out of money, and I can put $71.50 back into my pocket. I have to sell the car and all the parts that go to it, which should leave me just over 72, maybe $7,300. I think that's fair. I mean, it's run its course, and we just gained $214 from all the parts that we put in from the last junkyard trip, which wasn't a whole lot of money. I started with $57.42, so that leaves me $1,400 profit basically out of this car, spending my entire budget. It seems to me I should be making more, but here we go. Call it gone. Hold on, before I do that. The first car. Come on, back up far enough. There we go. There we go. It's a rolling chassis that it needs motor work. Basically, any and everything under the hood, it needs work. But for a first vehicle for the next guy, they're a whole lot further along than we were. So let's sell that off. Oh, come on. All right, $71.56 in my pocket. 184 experience into level 5, which is not a whole lot, considering I was 1 point or 2 points away from level 5 when I started this video. So, inventory-wise, let's sell off all the i4 parts. This was for that, but can go into any vehicle. Oh, that lag is just freaking driving me nuts. Okay, this can go on a V8 or another 4-cylinder, either or, so it's safe, I guess. And these are still parts from the first job car. Alright, so this is what we get to play with for our next vehicle. We have OHV. This is technically a V8, which isn't an OHV. So, in here, I have still not upgraded anything. And I don't really intend to, except maybe this one to keep costs down. Value and costs. I think this would probably be the only tree I'm interested in. And once I get to here, then maybe the repair. I mean, I really don't need the parking. And that one takes 3, so I still need to level up before I can get another discount. And I don't have the OBD scanner. I can't really afford the welder without cutting myself dead short. The battery, maybe. Let's go buy a car for our next project, end the video, and then go from there. We have $7,200 to buy our next vehicle with at the junkyard.